Every shoe company has their landmark product. Nike has their Air Force 1, Adidas has the Adidas Superstar, Reebok had the Pump in the 90s, and well, you get the point. For New Balance, a 114-year-old company, it's their revered New Balance 990, one of the most premium sneakers you can bless your feet with. Welcome back, guys, it's your boy Nacho. And if you're new here, me and my brother Brian, we make videos on sneaker culture and sneaker history. So if you're enjoying this type of content, consider subscribing. All right, let's get into this video. During the late 70s, there was a boom in competitive road running and in jogging for recreation and fitness. It is estimated that 25 million Americans took up some aspect of running in the 1970s and 1980s, including President Jimmy Carter. Many running shoes and apparel companies grew and formed to accommodate the demand. One of those American shoe manufacturers was the one and only New Balance. In 1972, a young entrepreneur by the name of James S. Jim Davis acquired New Balance at the young age of 28. Under his ownership, Davis marketed the company as the choice brand for serious runners. He completely rebranded the company, and throughout the 70s, New Balance became known for being obsessed with fit and performance. After all, Jim Davis famously quoted himself in New Balance advertisements, stating, "Show me a runner whose shoes don't fit, and I'll show you a loser." That's a cold dude right there. From 1978 to 1982, New Balance spent all of their time and energy on research and development for a new kind of running shoe, the iconic New Balance 990. Released in 1982, it was one of the most expensive shoes available, and not just from New Balance, for the entire athletic footwear industry. The New Balance 990 was the first sneaker to retail for $100. The silhouette featured a polyurethane heel cradle known as Motion Control Device, or also known as MCD. The MCD heel cradle was so successful that it's still used in New Balance's current line of performance runners. Because of the $100 price tag, the New Balance 990 became an early status symbol in the very small sneaker collecting community, especially in Washington, D.C. and Baltimore. The New Balance 990 was released in 1982, which is the same year as the Nike Air Force 1. The Air Force 1 is considered to be the sneaker that sparked sneaker collecting culture as we know it today. Naturally, people wanted an alternative to the Air Force 1, and that's where the New Balance 990 came in. We actually already dropped the Nike Air Force 1 history video, so check it out. I'm gonna put a little suggestion card right up here, so peep it out. Let me know what you guys think. All throughout the 80s and the 90s, New Balance kept releasing updates to the silhouette, adding groundbreaking technology in the process. The following 5 of these updates included beloved models: the 995, the 996, the 997, 998, and 999. Through these updates, New Balance not only pioneered the shoe game, but ended up developing proprietary features like the famous end cap, seat cap, and absorb. If you ever worn a pair of New Balance sneakers packed with a combination of these technologies, then you'll finally understand why your dad was rocking them back in the 90s. In 1998, a long 16 years after the debut of the 990, New Balance finally introduced an evolved version of the original, simply naming it the 990 V2. The V2 premiered some new technology and design formulas that would inform the entire 990 series moving forward, with the absorbed foam running the entire length of the end cap sole before popping out at the heel in a sealed bubble. Here's legendary Apple founder Steve Jobs introducing the very first iPhone back in 2007. An iconic moment. Equally iconic is Steve Jobs' wardrobe. He always wore the same jeans, black turtleneck, and yes, a pair of beautiful gray suede New Balance 990. New Balance rolled out the premium 990 V3 in 2012 to celebrate the original 1982 990. This version has a little more mesh between the pigskin suede paneling, and the company added preparations to the toe box to make the shoe more breathable. The update had more of a functional aesthetic compared to its predecessor. Looks aside, the technology remained relatively unchanged, but rather just beefed up, which shows you how forward-thinking New Balance was and how sturdy their designs are. Fast forward to 4 years later, and it's 2016. New Balance releases the 4th iteration of this classic series, the 990 V4. Design-wise, New Balance merged old school with the new school. And for the sole, the end cap unit was built from a cutting-edge polyurethane ring with a strong EVA core, delivering perfect balance between cushioning and stability. All that aside, this version of the 990 has enjoyed somewhat of a surge thanks to the recent explosion of the dad shoe trend. The homie Foamer Simpson even says it's one of the most comfortable and underrated sneakers of all time. Go follow Foamer Simpson. Him and Young Buckets be dropping all kinds of hot videos. This is the most recent installment of the 990 series, the 990 V5, and perhaps the most comfortable shoe money can buy you right now in 2020. They're actually remarkably similar to the V4, but in classic New Balance fashion, there's only very minor updates. A new TPU power strap was added for additional structural support around the ankle area, and a premium pigskin suede upper accents with reflective underlaying panels. There's some changes in the mesh, but nothing really too noticeable. It's amazing that this sneaker is still being produced here in the US. It's made out of the finest quality materials that you can find, and it's one of my favorites. What can I say? For the past 38 years, the 990 has been the face of New Balance. What's amazing about New Balance is that they've never tried to pander to the hype machine or create scarcity in the market with limited distribution. There's no app, there's no trying to cop via some special link, they're just straight to the point. They've won us over by focusing on performance and practicality over pretentious sneaker designs. I got a serious problem buying way too many New Balances. These are two of my favorite sneakers right here. This one right here is the 998, and then this one's the 997. All right, so this 998 is actually a collab between concepts. Came out a few years ago, but yeah, these are some of my favorites. Now, we do these videos and, you know, on history, you know, we got a history video like on the Blazer, on the Converse, on sneakers that we really enjoy. So why don't you guys go ahead and click on that right there, and I'll see you guys on the next video. You know? All right, ready? All right, ready? Yeah. All right, the New Balance 990 was the first kick to retail for $100. And you know what? It had a good reason too. All right, ready? You want me to say it one more time? You know, because we can. You know what I mean? My quest, I'm committed to excellence, Brian. Proprietary? Yeah. Proprietary. Hey, dog, when you put them on, you be like, oh, they're sneakers. That's what they are. They're called sneakers. All right, shoes are clankers, like clack, clack, clack. The reason they were called sneakers is because you can sneak up on fools. What do you think Steve Jobs said? Right before he died.
No.
Tim, hold me down.